Hi guys, welcome to Hadoop Tutorials. In this video I'll show you how you can install Spark on a Google Cloud virtual machine which is running an Ubuntu operating system. Spark do not have any particular dependency on Hadoop. It can also run as a standalone installation, but in my case I already have Hadoop installed on an Ubuntu machine, so I'll just installing it on the Hadoop master node. So I have my my command window running here, and then the instructions I have prepared here. So the first requirement for having Spark is to have a proper Java version. So just make sure you have a Java version installed by issuing java-version command. So I have version 1.8, which is the latest one. If you don't have it, then you should install it using this command, sudo apt-get install default JDK. The second requirement is to have Scala to be installed. So I know I don't have Scala installed right now, so I'm going to install it. So once it's installed, just make sure it's running properly by issuing Scala command, and you should see the Scala prompt. To exit out, just type in :Q. So once that's verified, we can install Spark now. So we will have to visit Apache Spark site and download the version we want. As you can see, the latest version of Spark is version 3.0.1. Which is the new series of versions for Spark. The older version are series 2, and the latest one is 2.4.7, which is a more stable version. Normally you would download whatever is the stable version, so you should be copying this binary link here. So when you click on it, you get the binary link, and then you should just copy a link and download it. However, I have a specific requirement, and I need to install an older version, which is version 2.3.0, and this older version is not available here. I have a separate link which allows me to download this older version, which is this. It's on the archive site of Apache. So if you go here, you can see all the older versions that you can download. Right, so here you can see the list of old versions. Now the reason I want to install this specific version 2.3.0 is because I need to use Spark with Hive. And Hive has a requirement that it can, the version of Hive that I have installed only works with this particular version of Spark. So this is why I'm sticking to this particular version, but if you don't care about Hive, then you can install whichever latest version you want. So I'm going to go ahead and copy the latest binary file, which I believe 2.7, which is this. And then I'm going to download it here. Into downloads folder. Use wget command with the link. So the file is downloaded here. You can see it here. Now I'm going to extract it. so it's extracted in this folder. Now we can move this folder to usr-lib, where I have also installed Hive and the Hadoop. So it's better to organize it in lib folder. So first we have to create a directory for Spark, and then we will move the extracted folder over there. Okay, so it's moved into this folder. We'll just list the content to make sure it's moved correctly. Okay, so we can see it here. Now the next step is to set up environment variables for Spark. So we have to edit bash rc file, where we previously added all the Hadoop and the Hive environment variables as well. So you can see the old variables over here. In this file we will add few more for Spark. So the first one you can see here, it's Spark home, and then we are exporting the bin path, Spark bin path, to the path so that we can run Spark from anywhere. The third one here is for Spark master host, and this one is set as a local host. And then the Spark master is running at 7077, and then the Spark master web UI is running at 7180. This port is usually 4040, but I don't want to use that port, so I'm changing it to 7180. You can set any port you want. So let's copy this here, and then save this file, and then we will have to reload all the variables by sourcing bash rc file. Okay, I'll just double check the variable to make sure it's pointing to the correct directory. So you can see it's printing now. And then the next step, so I have some commented out steps which are not needed, I believe, so we will not do that. Now I think that's it for the Spark installation. Now all we have to do is start Spark. And when you start, you will see output like this. Now you can see the Spark has started. It has generated some output files here. To check if Spark is running, we can visit the web UI with the port 7180. So you have to use your public IP address for your Google Cloud virtual machine. So in my case it's this one, and then use 7180, and you should see this UI saying Spark Master. So once you see this, that means Spark is running correctly. The next step we will do is we'll just test out few things. One thing I want to mention is this port 7180, or whichever port you are using for running Spark. Make sure you open it in Google Cloud Firewall. By default this port is not open, so you will have to open it using VPC network in Google Cloud Platform. I don't want to go into the details of how to do it. There are so many articles on that. So if you go here in VPC network, there is this firewall options where you have to go and create a new firewall rule to open port 7180, and then assign it to this virtual machine network tags. Okay, so once we have Spark running, we can go back. Let's test some of the some of the Spark job. So Spark comes with some of the examples, built-in examples. So I'm just going to try and run those. So changing to Spark Home, and then go in the bin directory. We have this Spark submit executable. What it will do is it's going to run this example here, the Spark examples jar, and it's going to run this particular example Spark P. All it's going to do is just print the value of P. As you can see, there are a lot of info messages, so you're probably going to not be able to see the value that it has printed because there are just too many messages. There is a solution to this. What you can do is, if you go into the Spark home folder, sorry, it came back out, so I should go back in here, and then go to the conf configuration directory for Spark, and here if you see, I'll just increase the size so you can see properly. Okay, here if you see this log4j template, rename this to dot properties, and then edit this file. What we are trying to do is reduce the amount of logging, and then under this file what you can do is change this info to error only. So what happens is it will not print all the info or warning messages, it's only going to print the error messages. Now if we go back and try to run the sample again, so this is the one we run, and let's try it again, and this time we should have only the error messages. Yeah, there we go. So we got the warning, but you can see the output clearly, right? If you want to see the status of this Spark job that it has run, you can go back to the UI over here and then just refresh this to see the latest status. So you can see it has run these jobs. This is from the previous run, but you should be able to see the finished job here, and it's also generating the status for the different application IDs. Right, so this is just another way of checking the Spark job. Now the other thing I wanted to show you is Spark Shell. So you can start Spark Shell from anywhere using the Spark Shell command. That's just because we have exported the Spark bin path in the bash RC. So this should start Spark Shell, and once it is up, you can try to run some of the Spark commands. So this is the Spark or the Scala prompt. Now over here I already have a sample which basically reads out a file from the HDFS and then prints it. So let's just use this println to make sure it's working. As you can see, it has printed this output. And the next thing we want to do is just read a file from the Hadoop file system. I know I have a file called taste.txt, so I'm just going to use this command So now it has stored value into this RDD from file variable, and then we can print data from this RDD using this command here. Right, so it has just read that file and then printed its content here, 1 2 3 4 5. It's just a simple file. Okay, so I think that's pretty much it for Spark. See you again. Thank you.